All right, welcome back, casuals. And today we are going over mission 4, chapter 4 of Spy Family. And where we left off, basically we knew that the interview is coming up, so it's the day of reckoning. Basically we know the interview is going on. The Forger family is heading out and they're going for the interview, right? So inside the building, inside of the school, it's a very posh, high class like society, because it's like the richest of the rich, the wealthy, the people with notoriety. Those are the people that are going to be at this school. So it's very high class and whatnot. But as Lloyd goes in there, he's kind of like, he's done everything that he can, hopefully that the rest of the people could hold their weight. Talking about the rest of his family, basically Anya and Yor. Lloyd is the first one to notice that he's being watched, and he has this weird feeling. He doesn't know where it's coming from, but he just knows that he's being watched, and he doesn't know who's watching. Just knows somebody's watching. And then we can see on the side that Yor's picking up on it as well. And the thing with the people watching them, it's kind of odd to me. It makes sense, but at the same time, it's manga. I don't know how realistic this manga is going to be, but you know that sixth sense you have when you feel like somebody's watching you, and you just could I feel like somebody's watching me. I don't know what that is, to be honest. Like what sensation is that to where you could just feel somebody's gazes upon you? But moving on, Lloyd notices it and Yor also notice it, and they just kind of realize, oh wow, the interview process has actually started, and they are basically eliminating families for things that they've done in public, or maybe the way they carry themselves, because this is such an elegant school, high class. It's all about who how you carry yourself, and it's all about prestige. So they're actually watching everybody, and as they're walking, they run into this boy that's stuck in a canal, and Lloyd realized this is a test to see how people would react in this situation, and it's a very weird test for me. I ain't gonna lie, it's quite an odd test, because we find out the solution is he saves the boy, but the people who were grading him, especially one in general, just didn't like the way he did it. It was just ungraceful, whatever, because he's dirty. And my answer to that is wait, so you'd rather him let the boy stay stuck in a canal, and the boy was safe, obviously, because it was just a test for everybody. The boy was safe, but at the end of the day, the people who are being tested, the families don't know that, and a lot of the families just walked by, acted like they didn't notice them, and their main concern was not dirtying their clothes. So you're telling me this school values appearance more than the kind-heartedness? Like, a child is literally in danger, as far as you know, and your answer is got an interview coming up, can't dirty my dress. Hopefully you survive, little boy. That's a bit odd for me. But Lloyd goes in there and saves the little kid, because we know Lloyd has a soft spot rather for children. So he goes in there and saves the little boy. And he was about to get eliminated because he dirtied up his clothes and his shoes, and they're just what low class to dirty himself like that, especially when he has an interview. But Lloyd, Mr. Prepared, he's a Boy Scout like that, he's just always ready. And he gets his clothes ready, and he changes clothes, and there's this one guy, one of the proctors are just kind of well, damn, he is Mr. just elegance. He reminds me of Mr. Crocker from the Fairly Odd Parents, where he just gets a high. He has an orgasm when he sees something that he's into, I guess. So I think I'm gonna really like this character moving on, because I'm a fan of zany characters, as long as it's not too far. You have to be a really good author to find a good mix of zany and not too cartoony, not a Looney Tunes character, but somebody who's very eccentric, if that makes sense. A little bit more eccentric, but still toned in, because after a while it gets a little cringy. But if you could do it right, it's a fun little trope to have in your story. So I'd like to see more from this housemaster or headmaster, whatever you call him. He's probably one of like a head house for like a dormitory. That's what I'm thinking he is. So basically Lloyd was prepared, has a change of clothes and whatever. And next thing to happen, so already he's impressing some of the people there out of his elegance and, you know, grace in the matter. And because he had a change of clothes for everyone in the family, not just himself, which is being very prepared, Boy Scout of him. So there's an animal outbreak. So I'm guessing the school is so freaking big, they even have a zoo. They have a whole zoo somewhere in this fucking school. I'm like, okay, cool. And they had all kinds of animals in this zoo: ostriches, horses, birds, rabbits, hares, goats. Like, it was just like, god damn, you got everything in here. Okay, cool. Got a whole petting zoo. And basically everybody's running for their lives, and that's when you get to see people's true colors when they're in danger. Literally, people, these elegant posh, way, stock market, these type of people, just like, fuck out the way, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Like, you know, they just going a wild. They're like, yo, fuck you, little kid, I'll beat your ass, get out of here. So it's like, okay. I thought that was funny. So there was this little boy that was stuck in front of the stampede, basically, and Lloyd is like, oh my god, these people are crazy, like they would actually go this far to show a test. But we find out it's not really a test. Like, it wasn't a test, it was an accident. And I guarantee you, I damn near put money on this, that later on we will find out that somebody caused that, because it seems so random that I'm like, what the fuck, this seems random. And it wasn't even the headmasters. This was not a test that they planned. So I find it hard to believe that it was a random accident that never is going to come up again. It might, but I wouldn't put money on that. So what happened? Your first thing is Twilight. Lloyd saves the little boy, jumps in there, takes him out the way, and the bull wasn't able to impale his ass. So Yor went in there and knocked out some of the animals. It was a bull who was basically leading the charge, and Yor went in there, pressure point, and Lloyd is just looking like, the fuck, like, who the fuck are you? How did you? And then she's like, oh, I learned about pressure points and self-defense, and I just thought it would work the same way with a on an animal. And Lloyd, okay, I don't know how long this is gonna last. How long could this last? How long could this possibly last for them to not know about each other? There's no way I would be with a woman. She does all that, like, especially remember the last chapter, she did some crazy acrobatic shit too. They both did. And I'm like, you guys don't question anything? Like, especially in the line of work that you guys are in, where it's very suspicious of everyone. Whatever. So I don't know how long this is gonna last. Hopefully it doesn't last the whole series. Like, I hope it doesn't like last until the end of the series, is where they find out, or close to the end of the series is where everybody's secrets come out. I would love for this to be like, you know, within the first 20 chapters they find out about each other, and then the shenanigans pursue, and, you know, the whole story continues from there. I think that would be better, because it was going to be harder and harder to make it believable to an audience that these very, very good, like, assassin and spies just don't catch on to the other person's profession. It would just be very hard to believe, or they're just in denial. But yeah, like, talking about the pressure points on the ox or the bull, whatever the case, she said she thought it would work on the bulls. I was like, a bull's body formation is not the same as a human. So how do you know, like, where the, like, of course there's a neck, but like, it goes further back than a human. Like, their vertebrae is a lot longer. Like, if you know how to spell, like, you know, pinch L2 spine and stuff like that on a human, that they'll do that. Like, that doesn't mean it's the same thing for ox. Like, I feel like, you know, Lloyd should be questioning that, but he doesn't question. It's like, whatever. But something cool that happens, which is, I think, a little bit of foreshadowing for the future, is that Anya was able to it's hinted at. Was able to talk to the animal, read the animal's mind, or control the animal to an extent. Basically, he was just like, don't be scared. Everything is going to be okay. And the animal just kind of got up, was calm, and left. So, and it kind of seemed like she was reading the animal's mind, because she's like, oh my God, the animal's scared. So, I mean, it doesn't take mind reading, honestly, to basically tell that an animal was scared. A lot of times you could tell by facial features and, like, you know, body language that an animal is scared, a living being is scared. So, but still, I think this is like going to be something in the future where maybe later on she can fully understand animals. We have a whole Dr. Doolittle situation going on. Who knows? That would be cool. Like, she's still a child, so there might not be any limit to her ability when it comes to reading minds, and it might come to, like, even mind control as well. So we'll see where that goes. And of course, my dude, the headmaster, he came out and he just literally had an orgasm for how elegantly this family did it. He's all about, like, that, you know, those people, those pretentious types, that's all about the way you carry yourself, the dress, like, you know, that type. He's all about that, and apparently, like, you know, he really cares about it. So he rushes out, like, he got tired of even fucking like, you know, watching him from a distance. It's like, oh my God, I have to. Like, he legitly just went crazy seeing what the forgers did. So he ran out there, like, he stormed out there just to go talk to Lloyd. And he's like, you know, he complimented on their grace and how they did it. And he said, given the circumstances, we'll give you some extra time to go change into a new outfit so you could be ready for your interview. We'll give you that time. But nope, it's Lloyd again. I'm telling you, boy's a Boy Scout. He already got a pair of clothes. He got another pair of clothes. I don't know where the fuck he was holding all that shit, because he definitely has a top hat. I don't know where he fit that top hat, but he had a top hat. I don't know, man, but he had another pair of clothes, because all we saw was a small ass briefcase when he came in. So I don't know where all these clothes are coming from, but, you know, we're just gonna take it with a grain of salt. That's cool. And he says basically he just anticipated, he was ready for something like this to happen. And then you ask yourself, what else is he anticipating? What else, like, other problems? Because if he's super prepared, like, where else would things come from? Like, let's say if he needed something else, I'm pretty sure he wasn't just thinking the worst thing that could happen is him dirtying his clothes. That's not the worst thing that could happen in that situation if you're just preparing for the worst. So we'll see. And that's basically the like little big haha moment at the end of the chapter, just that Lloyd was prepared and had the clothes, even though he was allotted some time to go change his clothes. He's like, don't even worry about it, I'm good. All right. So yeah, that's the chapter. I enjoyed the chapter. So now I'm going to give my predictions for the next chapter in my review of, like, my rating for this chapter. Let's start with rating. So the rating I would give it is, we found out some new things. The most exciting thing for me that we found out, it was about Anya and the animal part. We've seen her read human minds and stuff, but now she's able to, like, not read animal minds, but she has a sense. She gets a glance at, like, an animal mind, kind of, it seems. And this might be, like, you know, foreshadowing or character development potential for her. And also, I remember, what was it, a couple chapters ago when she was doing the entrance exam, I said, or the first, it could have been the first chapter or the second chapter, when I was saying I don't know if she's smart or if she has to be some level of smart, because, like, if she's reading somebody's mind, she has to be able to know how to spell something. She can't, you know what I mean? But apparently she's barely passed the entrance exam, so that's blown out the window. And she doesn't seem to be very intelligent in the traditional sense. But we'll see where that goes. So I'll give the chapter a solid it was cool, but like it wasn't anything like blew my pants off. So I'll give it a solid like 7. Yeah. And next chapter, I'm assuming they're gonna start the interviews, and I can't imagine what the issues will be there, but there has to be some kind of little conflict. But yeah, that's the review of Spy Family Mission 4, Chapter 4, and I'll catch you on the next review, analysis, breakdown tomorrow. Peace.
I'm out of here.